John's to pull the victory on their home field tonight?
The coaches talked about just having a lot of discipline. I can imagine it can be hard having a bunch of 12-year-olds and trying to get them to do what they need to do, so making sure that they're locked in for this game.
Fantastic. That's our Ace Hardware keys to the game. Again, if you need a key replaced, if you lock yourself out of your car or just need a key, okay, go see Ace Hardware in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show Low. We're getting ready to start. We've got Gatlin Shaler on the hill for St. John's, taking on the boys from Silver Creek on the hill. His counterpart tonight will be Bracken Core. I know Aaron was around here somewhere, or at least Aaron, you were texting me. If you're not able to make it because of work, can you text me and tell me where your kids' size comes from? Because no offense, I've seen you and you're not as big as your kids. So I'm just wondering where it comes from, because your boys have been monsters, great athletes. So maybe the athlete side comes from Reyna, but the size, I'm just trying to figure it out, bro. So if you're out there, if you shoot me a text, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Got to give the Cores some heck every now and then, great people. And next time, Aaron, you deliver a package to my house, please don't break it or throw it at my house. I appreciate you. So we're getting ready to start. And if you're getting ready to start your college education, please do it at Northland Pioneer College. They've got the best rates, best tuition in the state, and they're now offering bachelor degree programs in education and business. So leading off for Silver Creek, wasting no time right there, is Maddox Wall. Maddox rips one into the 5-6 hole, and he is on his way to third, and he is going to be in with a stand-up triple as he takes the first pitch of the game and lines it.
He was ready for that ball. I mean, as soon as that pitch came out, he was swinging. He wasted no time on that one.
Zero time as that ball gets to the fence in left center. And once again, first pitch of the game, we're looking for our Deemer's Glass shattering hit of the game. If you need glass for your home or business, call Deemer's Glass at 1-888-GLASSMAN. Pitch 2 of the game is hit to the third baseman from Paxton Everett. Everett's going to reach with a single and an RBI as Maddox Wall comes across.
Again, wasting no time.
Batting number 22, Bracken.
As soon as they see that that's a good ball, they're swinging.
And Aaron, here's your boy up the bat as Paxton Everett scampers over to second with a stolen base. Bracken Core. Aaron, for you guys out there wondering, he says they're hybrids. That's his text response to me. There's a ball into center field, and it is, what a catch by the second baseman. And I'm not sure yet if the second baseman, if he tagged up. We're going to see this. The pitcher's going to run back and step on the base, and we have this umpire signal safe. So he did tag up as Bracken Core pops up and right into the no man's land between the second base and center field, and the second baseman makes a great play for out number 1. That's a swing and a miss by Jeremiah Jameson.
Plays like that are in no man's land can always be hard, so it's great that the second base was aggressive and got to that. Made sure there was no confusion on the field about whose ball that was.
No, great play, great over-the-shoulder catch, and that moves up Peyton Everett to third base. So runner at third. Top of the first with Silver Creek leading St. John's 1-0 here. Here's the pitch. That's inside for ball 2. Or sorry, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jeremiah Jameson. Gatlin comes set and delivers. That pitch is inside as Jameson jumps out of the way of that one. We got some gamesmanship going on down at third base. Runner on third, dancing around.
Always a fun part of baseball, little taunting each other back and forth between players.
It can be, and there's a ball driven out to center field. Center fielder over to center fielder's head, picks it up right in front of the fence. Jeremiah Jameson with an RBI double to center
Batting number
field.
12, Riker.
You know, the gamesmanship happens. It happens more at this level. You don't see it as much as at high school level. So part of me, being the baseball coach at the high school level, I have mixed feelings
Right.
about that just because it doesn't happen. And there is another first pitch swinging by Riker Bajorn. Bajorn with a rocket into the 5-6 hole. And that is going to come around and score Jameson as Jameson slides into home for run number 3.
Batting number 2, Carter.
This Silver Creek team is very aggressive on the bases. They are not afraid to steal and to run when they have the time, and they're fast, and they're getting in there fast.
Very fast, and they're wasting no time swinging at first pitch fastballs. And that's going to bring up Carter Christensen. Christensen swinging the pencil bat, and there's another first pitch swinging. Second baseman steps on the bag at second, and he's not going to be able to turn the double play as Christensen hits into a fielder's choice for out
Batting
number
number 17,
2.
James.
That was a great play. That ball was coming hard, but he got it up, and he tagged that base just in time.
That's going to bring up James Ramberg. Ramberg, runner with a runner on first. Silver Creek leading 3-0, and there's another first pitch swing. And that ball's in the left field. Left fielder bobbles it a little, and the runner's just going to keep going as the left fielder just hung on to the ball. And that's going to be another run for Silver Creek as James Ramberg hits a
Batting number
single.
25, Cash.
We're not going to give him the RBI because of the bobble and the throwing error, but that scores Christensen. It's now 4-0, and that's going to bring up Cash Olberg with a runner in scoring position. Gatlin in the windup and delivers. Another first pitch swing as Olberg swings through that one for strike 1.
Silver Creek is coming out really aggressive with their hits. They are not afraid to swing. They are not afraid to hit. It's awesome.
Now this was the 7th batter of the top of the first, and I believe 6 of them have swung at the first pitch.
Yeah, that's impressive.
1 ball, 1 strike to Olberg. Silver Creek leading 4-0 in the top of the first. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. First strike 1, or strike 2, sorry. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Olberg. Gatlin on the hill for St. John's. Comes set in the stretch and delivers. Olberg hits a rocket past the shortstop in the left field, through the left fielder's legs up against the fence. 1 run is in. Olberg on his way to third, and he is in sliding. We're going to give Olberg a single,
Batting
and then
number
he got an
13,
RBI,
Dylan.
and then he gets on third on the air. And that now extends the Silver Creek lead 5-0. And St. John's hasn't even come to bat yet. And that brings up Dylan Innes. Innes jumps out of the way of that one for ball 1. Silver Creek, 12 batters in their lineup. If you're not familiar with Little League rules, both teams are hitting 12. That's all the players on their roster. And then they'll just make defensive substitutions as the game goes. So we will never know about defensive substitutions because they don't have to go to the umpire with their lineup cards like they do in high school and do all the subs. Everybody plays in Little League, and once they're in this lineup, coaches just can move kids around as they want, as there's a swing and a miss from Innes, and everyone just plays. So it's great. It's a great rule. Less headaches, especially from the umpire side,
Right.
about dealing with substitutes.
Right.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Ennis. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from the catcher, and Olberg gets across safely as he comes in, steps on the plate instead of sliding. Jumps, gets out of the way. And that's going to bring out a question from the umpire, or from the coach. So I'm not sure if he's asking about being out of a baseline, but he stepped right on the plate. And, I mean, he was never out of a baseline. He was never out of anything. I mean, he just stepped right on the plate. So we're going to get a question here.
He said,
I'm trying to listen.
go to a bunt and then pull back and then try to. I know.
Yeah, can't do that.
Wait, you can't
You can't bunt,
act
fake
like
bunt.
you're going to bunt,
Right.
pull the bat back, and then swing?
So you're not allowed to fake bunt?
What?
Is that a
That's got to be, that's a little league rule. Yeah,
rule?
it's a little league thing.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've never heard of that ever in my life at any level, that you can't fake a bunt, pull back and swing like a slash. I mean, I've called that, I've done that dozens and dozens of times. So what it is the batter squares around to act like they're going to bunt. They pull back and then swing. It's just a slash bunt. What I'm now learning is you cannot do that in Little League, apparently. So I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do here. If it's a strike on the batter, or do they put the runners back on third? So it's a strike, it sounds like. Sorry, folks, I'm trying to listen as the umpires and coaches are discussing this. But they did ask a question behind me. There was a lady that said you can't fake a bunt, pull back, and then swing. I'm confused.
Me too.
I'm gonna try to figure out why that's a rule, like what the reasoning behind that is. Maybe it's because it's this level and they don't want kids crashing, and then they pull back and swing, and first baseman, third baseman who's running in catches one off the face. That could be the only thing I can think of. Every other level in baseball from here on out, that's allowed to happen.
Totally.
Well, nonetheless, we're back going, and there is strike 3 called to Dylan Ennis as he goes down looking after the long delay of trying to figure out this rule. And it is 6-0 Silver Creek going to the bottom of the first. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars in Major Division on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Are you underwater on your trade and you're wondering what it's worth? Well, come on in and let us make the process easy. We will appraise your trade, give you the most for it, and now has never been a better time to trade your vehicle for a newer pre-owned vehicle here at Horn Auto Center.
I have bought 6 cars from Horn Auto Center. They always have a great deal, and they always take care of me and don't pressure me in any way of getting something that might not work best for me or my family. This would be the only place I would actually go in Sholo.
We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Hello and welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League playoffs here, Little League tournament going on right now. We were just asking about the question of the play or the call that was just made about the bunt. Did you find anything else about the rule?
Yeah, it's a rule. Nobody knows why it's a rule, but it's just a rule that you can't, in Little League at this level, once you square around and bunt, you have to either bunt, or if it's a ball or strike, you just pull back. Once you pull back, you can't then go swing. Nobody really knows why that's a rule. They just told me it's a rule.
Wow.
So it's a Little League rule, and it's not an area rule. It's a all of Little League rule.
Little League has to abide by
So
that rule.
it has to do with something. Every rule is made because of safety. I've learned that in my life. So that means somewhere, somehow,
Batting
a
number
kid
22,
faked a bunt.
Gatlin.
Somebody had to have crashed from the corners and wore one in the face.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of. So we're here at the bottom of the first now. St. John's coming up the bat with Bracken Core on the hill. First pitch called ball to Gatlin Shaler. Gatlin, I hope I'm saying your last name correctly. He's on the hill for St. John's. He jumps out of the way of that one for ball 2.
This is pitcher against pitcher right here.
Yeah, you are. There's a shot into center field just past the second baseman for a lead-off single for
Batting number
Gatlin.
5, Bridger.
And that's going to bring up Bridger Nelson. Nelson, left-handed hitter. First pitch there to the backstop for ball 1. Shaler gets over to second base. Bridger in that left-handed batter's box. That's really nice because nobody ever hits over there. Right-handed box always looks like a meteor crater. Core, fastball high for ball 2. Bottom of the first, 6-0 Silver Creek. St. John's coming to bat, runner on second in scoring position. Big swing and a miss there for Nelson for strike 1.
This has got to be weird having a lefty come up. I know that as a pitcher it was always hard when it feels like the strike zone moves when it changes from a right-handed batter to the left-handed batter, but so that's got to be a little bit of an adjustment.
Oh, it for sure plays with the minds of a pitcher.
Right.
Absolutely. Swing and a miss there from Nelson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Core comes set and delivers. Front shoulder flying a little bit as that ball outside for a full count. 3-2. The only reason I say that is I know, Aaron, you're listening and you would be yelling at your kid to keep the front shoulder closed, as he did right there to get Nelson swinging for strike
Batting
3,
number
out
70,
number
Ryder.
1.
Oh, Ryan.
It's going to bring up Ryan Wall. Wall, 3-hitter for St. John's, takes ball 1 low and outside. So that first inning, we've had a few already, even with Gatlin Shaler runnings for the Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game and that Horn Auto Center drive of the game. His Core paints that outside corner for a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Core comes back, set, and delivers. Swing and a miss by Wall for strike 2. Core working fast, getting back up on the rubber, not letting his defense get on their heels. Comes set, and the 1-2 pitch inside for ball 2. 2-2 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. St. John's trailing 6-0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
And that's something that Silver Creek talked about is their pitching and their defense, and Core's doing a great job pitching right now.
Batting number 3,
Definitely see that
Evan.
is one of their strengths.
Yeah, Gatlin with the leadoff single, and then Core settled in and struck out the next 2, and that's going to bring up Evan Gomez. Gomez playing second base today, takes ball 1 high. 2 outs, runner on third here, bottom of the first. A host Redskins of St. John's taking on Silver Creek, and there's a called strike one. Core already up on the mound, set, and here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball low, 2-1 the count. I want to thank one of our sponsors, Allegra in Show Low. Grow your business with Allegra Show Low for all your branding and signage needs. They also do embroidery, shirts, hats. Go check out Allegra in Show Low. 3-1 the count to Evan Gomez. Core comes set and delivers. Takes a little off of that, and it is low for ball 4. Just missed the bottom part of the strike zone.
Cameron.
As now St. John's has got runners on the corners, and that's going to bring up Cameron Garcia. Garcia playing shortstop today for St. John's, 2 outs. A big swing and a miss as he's late on that fastball for strike 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Silver Creek leads 6-0. Here's a bunt attempt. Strike called as he pulls back, as he thought that one was going to be high and outside, but it is a called strike. 0-2 the count here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Core, after giving up the lead off single, strikes out 2, gives up a walk, and then strikes out the side. We're going to the top of the second. Silver Creek leads 6-0 over St. John's. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of All-Star Baseball here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Show Low Ford. Show Low Ford has the best deals. Not only does Show Low Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Show Low Ford sells the best at the best price. Show Low Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at showlowford.com.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona. Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Star Majors Division here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. St. John's, the home team, hosting boys from Silver Creek, Snowflake and Taylor area, as Silver Creek coming to bat here in the top of the second, leading 6-0 as they put up 6 in that first inning, and then held Silver Creek held St. John's to a leadoff single, and then left him stranded over at third. And if you're looking to start your college education, do it at your hometown college with the lowest tuition in the state. Now offering bachelor's degree programs in education and business. That's Northland Pioneer College. Again, you're listening to Little League All-Star, presented by Show Low Ford on iTalk 106.7 FM, KNKI Pine Top, Show Low, and on 102.5 in Pine Top, a Kopanicki communication station. And now looks like umpires are getting coaches together as they're trying to figure out some rules. They're still talking about the bunt or lack there of a bunt.
Batting number 21, Trigger.
Can now?
It's like a national thing and they're allowed to do it. Okay. Now they are.
Okay, we now have full clarification of this rule, so I apologize. Now we have, let me get caught back up here. Let me get caught back up here, okay? So, all right, let me get everyone caught back up with this bunt rule. So it is a local rule during the regular season that you cannot, each area is allowed to make up their mind and make a decision if they want to allow their kids during the regular season to square around, bunt, and pull back and then swing. So St. John's in their area of Little League said, we're not doing this, we're not allowing it. Well, guess what? We're now in the tournament. That's now a national tournament, and you're allowed to do it. So now kids are at my opinion, you put your kids at a disadvantage because in the regular season, you're not allowed to do this. Obviously in Snowflake and Silver Creek, they're allowing this to happen because they just did it. So their kids have an advantage.
And their kids have been playing like that, and these other kids haven't.
You are allowed to do it because you're in the tournament, and it's now a national tournament, and everybody's playing by those rules, okay? So, anyways, that was Villain Fenton up the bat for Silver Creek, who just struck out for out number 1. And that's going to bring up Jesus Castillo. Castillo takes first pitch outside for ball 1. So I apologize for the delay of our broadcast and radio audience, the lack of voices, because they were helping me out. The people here from St. John's have been very good and outstanding. I want to thank them for helping us understand some Little League rules, because again, way different than high school rules,
Right,
Ashlyn.
right.
I know some high school rules. That's not one of them.
Right.
So, want to thank them. And there's a hit into right field by Castillo.
Batting number 23,
Xander. I am on the wrong place. That is Carson Ramage. My mistake. Ramage with the single. Trigger Fish is the one who struck out swinging, as I was on the wrong page of my book in all this confusion. And that's going to be a strike 1 swing there by Xander Owens. And that's going to be a wild or a pass ball, which moves Ramage up to second. And now Owens with a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball to get in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Actually, I'm glad we got that all figured out with the weird bunt rule.
That was strange. It's strange that it's one rule for in-season, different.
So it's an
for
option.
playoffs. Yeah.
So again, if your local Little League wants to have that option, Little League has put that in the rule book that you have an option to play that way. But once you get to the tournament, which is now a national tournament, that option's not there.
Which is strange that they would do that. But
Here's the pitch. Ball outside to even it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's the same with the minors. The minors don't play with the drop third strike rule. But when you get the All-Stars and you're playing with the 10, 11-year-olds, they play by the major rules, and there's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball that now the drop third strike's in effect. So again, you don't practice something all season long,
and then all of a sudden,
when it counts,
when it actually matters,
yes.
that's when they.
I mean, I'm trying to think,
that's
how
when
can we
they
put
play
that in
the rule.
volleyball terms? You were a volleyball player. What do we put in volleyball terms? You couldn't jump to spike the ball during the regular season, and all of a sudden you get to the state tournament and you're allowed to do it? I mean,
Right.
it doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Curveball fouled back for a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball as Xander Owens stays alive.
And the Little League rules always play an interesting factor in the games, and how you coach your team. You got to kind of adjust for.
And especially when you have this one, because St. John's coaches adamant that they're right. Silver Creek's like, hold on a second, we've never heard of this
Right.
rule. As there's another Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball just past the dugout on the first base side. So, confusion gone. Thankfully.
It's been clarified.
It's been clarified. 2-2 the count, 1 out here, top of the second. Silver Creek leads St. John 6-0. Here's the pitch, another curveball. Didn't break enough as that one just stayed inside, and now we've got a full count. And we've got Maddox Wall waiting on deck. He's the leadoff hitter for Silver Creek. Here's the pitch, and there's a ball low and outside, and that's going to put runners on first and second with 1 out.
Batting number 3, Maddox.
And that's Maddox Wall. Wall led off the game, first pitch of the game with a triple, and then came around and scored in that 6-run first. And Silver Creek threatening again here in the second. He's got that pencil bat, Ashlyn, and here's the pitch.
Yes.
And first pitch swinging again, and that's down the third base line. Just foul for a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball.
He made some real good contact on that, though. Just got to time it a little bit better.
Yeah, just a little out in front of that one for strike 1. Gatlin with the pitch. And there's another one, same spot for a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball for strike 2. Gatlin Shaler.
And again, this pencil bat it's become quite popular. I think I've seen one on at least every team I've watched so far.
Yeah, I think we've seen 3 of them today out of the 4 teams
right.
for sure. Shaler with the pitch. And there's a ball hit the center field. Center fielder in, then retreats back. What a catch by the center fielder as that line drive hit right back at him. One of the hardest balls to judge as an outfielder is that one that's hit right at you on a line. He broke in, then retreated back and made a great play over his head for out number 2.
When that ball's coming right at you, it can be hard to tell the depth, how far it's going. So he did a great job of tracking that into his glove.
Ramage does move up to third. And there's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball. And no, I didn't catch it because I have a pencil in my hand.
Oh, you were close.
If I don't have the pencil in my hand, I make the catch.
Of course.
I still should have caught it,
Even with the pencil.
even with the pencil in my hand. Here's the pitch. Strike called right down the middle at the knees for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on the corner. Silver Creek threatening here in the second as they already have a 6-0 lead over the host Redskins of St. John's. Gatlin Shaler trying to get out of this mini jam and get the Redskins in the dugout. Here's a pitch, fastball up. As now we got the runner from first. Owens scampering into second. Unattested stolen base. So now 2 runners in scoring position. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Paxton Everett. Everett with a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball. Everett single and an RBI, and also he scored in that first inning, 6-run inning. So now 2 runners on. In scoring position at second and third for Paxton Everett. Gatlin Shaler comes set and delivers. That ball's in the dirt, past the catcher, and Silver Creek is gonna score as Ramage, Carson Ramage, who singled in this inning, comes around and scores on the wild pitch. Xander Owens moves up to third.
That's a hard one to let go. Sean Hopkins has done a great job so far as catcher in stopping those balls, but sometimes they just get by you, and then there's always going to be a stolen base on balls that go behind the pitcher or the catcher.
Yeah, this backstop seems really deep for a Little League field, by the way.
It is deep.
So here's the 2-2 pitch. And there's a ball driven out to left center, and that's going to split the gap, and it is going to bounce over the fence. Did it bounce? It's a double. It bounced. It bounced over. They're trying to say that it was a home run, but I don't know if we have a replay of that or not, but it clearly bounced over for a ground rule double there for Paxton
Batting
Everett
number 22.
and an RBI.
Bacon.
So Xander Owens scores. Paxton Everett throws his name in for the Horn Auto Center drive of the game. And Core hits one off the end of the bat to the shortstop. Shortstop makes a diving play, can't get it. And now we've got runners on the corner. Back pick over to the third. Core on his way to second. He slides in safe. And here comes Paxton Everett from third. And he scores as they threw the ball trying to get Core at second. Core just got out in front of one, hit a little nubbler over the shortstop. Shortstop tried to make a great play, knocked it down, and then they back picked over to the third. Core takes off for second. When they try to throw him out, he slides in safe, and Paxton Everett scampers home, and now Silver Creek leads 8-0.
Paxton wasted no time on that one. As soon as he saw that ball go in a second, he was heading home.
And that's going to bring a mound visit from St. John's as Jeremiah Jameson comes to the plate, and looks like we're going to get a pitching change. So we're going to step away for a quick break while the new pitcher comes in and warms up. We're in the top of the second. Silver Creek leading St. John's 8-0. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars Major Division on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnault and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars, the major division here, presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk 1067, iTalk1067.com. Pitching change. Now pitching for St. John's is number 3, Evan Gomez. And somewhere, Ashlyn, I missed a run somehow because the Silver Creek now has 9 runs up on the scoreboard, but they've only scored 3 this inning. So they must have had a 6-run first that somehow I missed one. So 6 runs somewhere. We'll just pencil in that one right there because that might have been the one I missed on a strikeout. Maybe there was a pass ball. So, I did. Olberg did score. He was the one that they think that didn't touch home plate.
Right.
So I just didn't mark it in. Anyway, we're back. Here's the first pitch from Gomez for ball 1. Ball gets past the catcher, and Core over to third on the pass ball. And again, Evan Gomez now in relief on the mound for St. John's. Silver Creek leads 9-0. And this is Jeremiah Jameson, and Jameson with a laser to right field for his second hit of the day. He scampers into second on the throw. So Jameson has a
Batting number 12,
double
Riker.
and now a single, and then a hustles in on the throw. There's a bobble out in right field that gets him into second. So he's halfway to the cycle, Ashlyn.
Right.
All he needs is a triple and a home run, and he's got the cycle. Double and a single now. And then another RBI as he's putting his name in the hat for that Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store Player of the Game. As Core scores to now make it 10-0 Silver Creek over St. John's. And now Riker Bjorn coming up the bat. Riker had a single and an RBI in that first. He takes that pitch inside, bounces off the catcher's glove, gets away. Good heads-up base running there by Jamison as he goes in sliding into third safely. We've got 2 outs here in the top of the first. Silver Creek still threatening as they lead 10-0 here over St. John's. And there's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball for strike number 1. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Riker Bjorn. Again, Bjorn 1 for 1 on the day with a single. Here's the pitch. Ball outside and low. 3 balls, 1 strike the count. Here's the stretch and the delivery. There's a swing, which would have been ball 4, and Bjorn knows it. So full count, runner on third. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Again, Snowflake leads, or Silver Creek, because its kids are from Snowflake and Taylor, leads St. John's 10-0 here. And there's ball 4 high. And now Silver Creek's got runners on the corners.
Batting number 2, Carter.
And that brings up the shortstop, Carter Christensen. Christensen scored, but grounded Riker into a fielder's choice in that first inning. There's a ball hit down the line in right field. That's in. 1 run is in. Christensen on his way to second. Bjorn on his way home as he's rounding. Throw comes into the pitcher. Bjorn slides in safely. 2 RBIs for Carter Christensen on the double.
That was beautiful hit, beautifully placed. Got right over that first baseman, and he was able to get 2 people, two of his teammates home. So that's awesome.
And Ashland using the pencil bat.
And using the pencil bat.
Done with the pencil bat. And that's going to bring up James Ramberg. Ramberg singled and scored in the first. First pitch swinging, 1 hop right to the shortstop. Shortstop over to first, and it's in the dirt. Couldn't be picked. Runners moving around. Now we got runners on second and third as Ramberg reaches on the air as he hit a hard 1 hopper to the shortstop. Shortstop made a nice play. Couldn't throw the ball. Couldn't get it up in the air as he threw one in the dirt. First baseman just couldn't pick it. And that will bring up Cash Olberg. Olberg singled, RBI, and scored in the first. And then he swings at a pitch way outside for strike 1. That was a great shot of Olberg for you watching on YouTube. I want to thank those listening on iTalk 102.5, listening on the radio around the mountain, as there's ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. The count. Again, it's now 12-0 Silver Creek as they've put up 6 in each of the first 2 innings. Olberg swings at one over his head for strike 2.
These kids are being so aggressive. It's hard. It's hard to just let them go. You want to swing at everything when you're feeling confident in your hit.
And that's something they'll learn as they get older, is aggressive within yourself and within the zone. Yes.
Right.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball as the catcher just couldn't hang on to that foul tip. There again, Evan Gomez on the circle, or on the hill. Too many softball games that I've done for talk about in the circle. He's on the hill in relief for St. John's. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball over the third. Third baseman backs up, makes the play, throws it across the diamond, and he is safe at first. Great hustle there by Cash Olberg as he legs out the single and gets himself another RBI as Carter Christensen comes across the score. James Ramberg moves up to third. Dylan Innes takes first pitch. That's wild to the backstop. And that's another Olberg hustling over the third. That ball gets by into left field, and he's going to now stay there as the third base coach tells him to stay. So Olberg over the third. James Ramberg scores on the wild pitch and now extends the Silver Creek lead to 14-0. And this is Dylan Innes. Innes 0 for 1 as he struck out looking in the first. There's a fastball outside for ball 2. Silver Creek getting ready to bat around as this is their now 11th or 12th batter of the inning. Here's the pitch. That ball's behind Innes as he jumps out of the way. 3-0 the count. Again, top of the second. Silver Creek extends the lead 14-0 here over St. John's. St. John's trying to get back in the dugout for the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. Fastball past the catcher. Silver Creek coaches holding up the runners, not letting them score on the pass ball anymore, showing some sportsmanship here as we have now batted around, and now Trigger Fish, who struck out to lead off the inning. So St. John's got the first batter out. There's a ground ball through the legs of the runner of the third baseman as Trigger Fish reaches on the air. And now with Silver Creek runners on first and second as Olberg scores. And Silver Creek with a 15-0 lead here in the second, or top of the second.
That was a hard-driven ball. Those balls are hard to get your glove down fast enough.
There's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. Good hustle there by the catcher. Just ran out of real estate as the fence was there. Strike 1 on Carson Ramage. Would really help if the person in right field is listening to our broadcast and would turn their car lights off so it wouldn't be in the catcher and the batter's eyes right now. We'd appreciate it. I don't think they're listening, Ashlyn. Their lights are still on.
Man, they're missing out.
They are.
They're missing out.
There's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball as the Silver Creek coach makes the play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to Carson Ramage. Ramage 1 for 1 on the day as he singled and scored in this second inning. Hey, they turned their lights off.
Woohoo.
Thank you, if you are listening. 2-2 the count. Runners on second and third for Silver Creek. There's a ball hit back to the pitcher, and it takes an unlucky bounce off one of the divots in the ground as Ramage gets sawed off. He gets one off the handle. And nonetheless, it's a single, Ashley.
Yeah, that's got to be so hard as an infielder when it just hits a little divot like that and you can't field it the way you thought you would. And those ones are hard for sure.
But Ramage will take it because that's another RBI for him. So he's 2 for 2 on the day, two singles, 2 RBIs, and Xander Owens walked and scored here in the second. Jumps out of the way of that one. Silver Creek now leads 16-0 here in the top of the second. And that is ball outside from Evan Gomez. Gomez in relief here for St. John's. Two and 0 the count. Oh, here's the pitch. That's a foul ball as Owens hits it off his ankle. I just realized he's got a, is that a Pez? Is that a Pez dispenser bat?
Wow.
Is it? I can't tell if that, we're trying to zoom, they're trying to zoom in.
on the bat?
No, I thought it said Pez on the bat. I was like, we've got a pencil bat and now a Pez dispenser. There's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. I'd go buy a Pez dispenser bat. I used to eat those things, eat that candy all the time.
Have you seen a bat like that before?
No, that's why I was shocked when I thought I read Pez on it from way back here.
I was shocked when I saw the pencil bat for the first time.
Might have got some people's hopes up, ready to go buy their kid a Pez dispenser bat. And Owens goes down swinging, and St. John's finally gets out of the second inning as Silver Creek go into the bottom of the second, leads St. John's 16-0. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars here on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Show Low. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars here on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. Game 2 of the night here, first round of the Major Division Boys All-Stars. Game 2 between Silver Creek, boys from Snowflake and Taylor, taking on the host Redskins from St. John's. They lead 16-0 here in the bottom of the second. Game 1 was an exciting one. It was 16-11, if I remember right. Was that right, Ashley? 16-11, with Round Valley coming out victorious over the White Mountain Apaches from White River. And now we have a pitching change, and this is number 7, Ramage, Carson Ramage, coming into pitch. And Ramage on the hill throwing gas. I believe Alan is out there listening, and if you're not, you'll go back and watch this, because I called you earlier that your nephew is finally a Ramage that's a real athlete playing baseball. I coached Ethan, who played quarterback at Snowflake. In his senior year, I begged him to come out and pitch for me when I was the head baseball coach in Snowflake, to just come out and pitch for me. Kid could throw a football forever. I'm like, we'll teach you how to pitch. And he wanted to go play club men's volleyball.
No way.
The kid was good. He even could jump out of a gym. He was athletic. His dad was the volleyball coach.
Oh, okay.
So Alan Ramage is.
Okay, yeah.
So he was the volleyball coach. So his boy, his oldest, wanted to be a volleyball player. Well, they didn't have boys. They don't have men's volleyball up on the mountain. So he was playing some club stuff, and I just couldn't get him to come pitch for me. So when I saw the nephew today on the lineup card, had to call Alan and be like, finally there's a Ramage that's a real athlete playing.
We'll play baseball instead of
volleyball. And Ethan, if you hear that, I'm just kidding, because you are a heck of a football player for us, and just a great kid. So now we've got, again, Silver Creek trying to work with the pitching rules and the pitch count, saving some pitchers for their day's rest. So the first was Bracken Core, and now we've got Carson
21,
Ramage. And Ramage, just like Core, coming in throwing some gas in his warm-up pitches. And there's a first pitch swung through and missed by, let's see, this is Villain Fenton. So Cameron Garcia got struck out to end the first. Now Villain Fenton swings through that one again for strike 2. 16-0 here in the bottom of the second. Silver Creek over St. John's. And there's one back to the backstop for ball 1.
Carson Ramage is doing a great job of keeping his speed up, not making it easy at all for this batter.
And there's strike 3 called as Ramage went painting on that outside corner for out number 1.
Batting number 12, Jesus.
So you went from Core, who threw pretty hard.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you got Carson Ramage up here, and he's throwing just as hard,
if not harder.
if not harder.
Right.
So this
They've got,
Silver Creek's pitching staff,
right,
first
they've
two
got
we've
some,
seen.
Yeah.
Jesus Castillo.
And that's something that the coaches were talking about, is how one of their strengths they felt was their pitching, and so that's fun to see that they've got so many pitchers.
Yeah, and again, how do they use them with these pitch count rules and days
Right.
rest? And where's the strategy come in for game 2 tomorrow?
Right.
1 ball, 2 strikes as Castillo swung through that one. Squares around a bunt, pulls back for ball 2. Again, we did get clarification. If you do pull back after a bunt, you are now allowed to swing. Had some confusion in the first inning. And there is strike 3 painted again right there on the outer third as Castillo goes down looking for out number 2. And that's going to bring up William Sundal. The umpires were asking about a mercy rule, Ashlyn, and I do not know what that is. I'm assuming it's after 4 innings because they only play 6. And again, translating to high school, it's after 5 and they play 7. So I'm assuming it's after 4
for 6, yeah.
But don't know what, if it's at 10, is it 12? Not sure for Little League rules.
Right.
There's the second pitch for ball 2. William in a good hitter's count here. 2 balls and no strikes. Squares around a bunt over the head of the pitchers. That one got away from Ramage. 3-0 the count. So St. John's led off the first inning with a single, and then Side was struck out, and now they've got the first 2 batters that have struck out, and now Sundal draws a walk, and that's going to bring up Sean Hopkins. Hopkins, the catcher for St. John's, doing a great job. Actually, you were talking about his ability to pick the ball, knock the ball down. He's been doing a great job back there. He drops down a bunt for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. First strike 1.
Yeah, Hopkins has done a great job catching so far. It's always stressful when you've got runners on the base and trying to keep the ball in front, not let it get behind you.
There's a strike called on the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. The Hopkins runner on first, 2 outs. Silver Creek leads 16-0 here in the bottom of the second. And there's a ball low in the dirt. 1-2 the count. And Silver Creek jumped out early. And there's a swing, a drop, third strike. We're going to see the first throw down, and he is out at first. Great play there. So we get a strikeout by Hopkins, swinging, and then the 2-3 put out for out number 3. We're going to the top of the third. Silver Creek leads St. John 16-0. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars, a major division for the boys here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com. Brian Lang, Ashlyn Smith, hanging out with you all night tonight. Again, exciting game in Game 1 between Round Valley and the White Mountain Apaches from White River, as that was a 16-11 victory for Round Valley. This one, hopefully it gets a little more exciting, especially the St. John's faithful here, as they're the home team hosting this tournament, are hoping, as they trail 16-0 here going to the top of the third. On the other side, I'm going to bring up this bracket as the pitcher's still warming up, which is Evan Gomez in relief here for the Redskins. So we've already seen Round Valley advance. They will now play on Thursday at 7:30, and they get the winner of this game. And the winner of this game plays Mountain Pines tomorrow night at 7:30. Mountain Pines Little League is made up of kids from Show Low and Pine Top area. So Mountain Pines got the first round bye. They have the 1 seed, so they get the winner of this tomorrow night at 7:30. The loser of this game turns around and plays tomorrow against White Mountain Apaches at 5 o'clock. So we'll be bringing you both those games tomorrow night on YouTube and here on iTalk 102.5 or 106.7, and then on YouTube on 106.7.com. On the other side of the bracket, that is being played in Flagstaff. You have Flagstaff hosting Winslow tonight, and then Holbrook plays Payson tonight. Those are the 4 teams on that side of the bracket, and then they will eventually, as they advance in that side of the bracket, will make their way this direction on Saturday. And here's the first pitch outside for ball 1. This should be Maddox Wall, I believe, number 3.
With that pencil bat.
With the pencil bat. It is Wall. So Silver Creek batted around last inning. So now I'm working on, this is now the 3rd inning, as they have batted around, and now Maddox is in a good hitter's count, 3-0. We'll see if he has the green light here, up 16-0 here in the top of the 3rd. Ashlyn and I are assuming that there is a possibility of a run rule, and he does have the 3-0 green light, pops it up to the pitcher, and he is under it. And that Evan Gomez makes the play for out number 1.
I'm sure the lights were in his eyes when he caught that, so that was a great play that he made.
A great play. Winds finally died down a little bit. Still blowing out to right center, it looks like, by looking at that flag. And now Paxton Everett. Paxton 2 for 2 on the day. Single, double, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored in those 2 at-bats. As he takes ball 1. We are still looking for our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Player of the Game. Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports has the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, fishing gear in the White Mountains. They're located south of Pine Top on Highway 260 on the right-hand side of the road before you get to the Honda Resort and Casino. Unlike the first game, we haven't yet seen a Comfort Fit Dentures home run.
Right.
Remember,
unless you count the one that bounced out, but...
No, that was a ground rule double. This ball is hit into right field, just in front of the right fielder, as Paxton Everett gets a single as he hits one that falls just short of the right fielder. Again, haven't seen a Comfort Fit Dentures home run. Smile, Comfort Fit Dentures. The first game we did.
Right.
They're the kid from the White Mountain Apaches from White River that hit an absolute bomb over the right field wall for that Comfort Fit Dentures home run. And now that brings up Bracken Core. Core 1 for 2 on the day. Flew out to second and then singled and scored in, or flew out to second in the first, singled and scored in the second. And that first pitch to him is ball 1. Steps out, fixes batting glove, steps back in. Pitcher comes set and delivers. Core hits one out to center field, right at the center fielder. Center fielder didn't have to move as Core just hits it right at him, barreled it up Good swing,
Batting number
good
33,
contact.
Jeremiah.
Just happened to hit it right at the center fielder.
That's always the worst when you think, oh, that was such a good hit, and then you hit it right where the defense
Right?
is.
Did everything right on your swing, made great contact, and then you're like, oh, there's a guy standing right there. And there's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. There's Jeremiah Jamison. Strike one. Jamison, double, single, 2 RBIs on the day, and 2 runs scored. There's another ball driven to right center. That ball's in the gap. On the way to third. Jamison on the way to second. And he's going to be in with a stand-up RBI double for Jeremiah Jamison. Jamison goes, I want the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Player of the game. I want the Deemers Glass shattering hit of the game. And you know what? I'll try to get the Horn Auto Center drive of the game all in one shot.
Why not? Why not?
There's ball 1 to Riker Bjorn. Bjorn, 1 for 1 on the day, singled with an RBI in the first and walked and scored in the second. 17-0 now. Silver Creek over St. John's. And there's a ball hit through the 5-6 hole just past the outreach of the third baseman for St. John's. Jamison gets over to third. Bjorn at first with the
Batting
single.
number 2, Carter.
And now that brings up Carter Christensen. Let's see. Had a fielder's choice in the first, so he is 1 for 2 on the day. Double, 2 RBIs in that second inning with 2 runs scored. First pitch ball to Christensen. Silver Creek here in the top of the third leads 17-0. Christensen with the pencil bat hits a bullet past the pitcher. And Christensen gets himself another single and an RBI. Christensen looking for
Batting
that
number 17, James.
Horn Auto Center drive of the game. Again, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. And James Ramberg wastes no time. He hits the first pitch out to left field. The left fielder comes flying in, makes a great play on the basket catch in left field for the third out of the inning. And we're going to the bottom of the third. Silver Creek leads St. John's 18-0. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars Major Division on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Are you underwater on your trade and you're wondering what it's worth? Well, come on in and let us make the process easy. We will appraise your trade, give you the most for it, and now has never been a better time to trade your vehicle for a newer pre-owned vehicle here at Horn Auto Center.
I have bought 6 cars from Horn Auto Center. They always have a great deal, and they always take care of me and don't pressure me in any way of getting something that might not work best for me or my family. This would be the only place I would actually go in Sholo.
We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars here on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. Silver Creek taking on the host Redskins of St. John's. We're going to the bottom of the third. Silver Creek leads 18-0. And we're going to get another pitching change as it looks like Jeremiah Jamison on the mound now for Silver Creek as they are trying to save pitchers for this tournament with the pitch count rules. So this will be the third pitcher of the evening for Silver Creek. Game 1 tonight, if you were following along, had Round Valley defeat White Mountain Apaches out of White River 16-11 in an exciting game to lead off this tournament. And this is game number 2 as the host Redskins of St. John's are in a big hole, 18-0 to Silver Creek, the boys from Snowflake and Taylor. The winner of this game gets the number 1 seed tomorrow, Mountain Pines, which is the boys made up from Show Low and Pine Top area. So they have the first round bye as they are the 1 seed. And then on the other side of the bracket being played in Flagstaff, you have Flagstaff that plays Winslow tonight, and Payson plays Holbrook. And there is the first pitch from Jameson. It swung on and missed to Poe. First strike 1. Trent Poe goes to try to bunt his way on and fouls it off for Mountain Mobile Autoglass. Foul ball and strike number 2. 0-2 the count to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 3rd, Trent Poe. St. John's is yet to hit through their order. There's a swing and a miss for out number 1. So both teams have 12 players on their roster. Both teams are hitting all 12
Batting number 44, Joseph.
in their order today. And then they don't have to worry about substitutions, any of that, and Little League rules of you played so many games, you did this, you're just all in the batting order. Then they'll just move kids around on defense as they please because they're in the lineup and they don't have to tell anybody. So we don't really know what positions kids are playing because they're not coming to the umpire with those substitutions. With those subs like they do in high school.
Right.
So kids are just moving around, which is great. You just get to go play some baseball. And there's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball to Joseph Garcia. Garcia 1-1 the count. Again, it's 18-0 here. Silver Creek over St. John's. The loser of this game plays White Mountain Apaches tomorrow at 5 o'clock here in St. John's. The winner of this game gets Mountain Pines at the 7:30 nightcap tomorrow night, also here in St. John's. Here's the pitch as Garcia jumps out of the way of that one, and now it's 3-1 the count. Hopefully tomorrow they'll have some updates for us, Ashlyn, on who won on the other side of the bracket, so we can kind of see how this is playing out and who's going to make their way over here. And who's coming this way starting Saturday, as the bracket from Flagstaff will make their way this way for Saturday's games. Full count now as Garcia swung through the last pitch. Here's the windup and the pitch, and there's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball. Full count.
And again, the Silver Creek pitchers. I mean, he's new to this inning, but he's doing great.
Yeah, and I can't even read my own chicken scratch. This is number 23, Xander Owens. Nice backhanded play there. That over at first base is Jeremiah Jameson, number 33. Nice backhanded play as he takes a step to his right and comes back and steps on the bag for out number 2. Now on the hill for Silver Creek is Xander Owens. My mistake. 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Uzziah Wilson. Uzziah Wilson takes ball 1 outside. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Silver Creek up 18-0. There's a big swing from Wilson. Wilson trying to tie that ball game up with 1 swing on that big swing. Owens comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Right down the middle for called strike 2.
Now the mindset has got to be just swing at anything you can.
Definitely got to protect. I always told kids, don't trust the pitcher, don't trust the umpire. And he swings at one up above his head, unfortunately, for out number 3. We're going to the top of the 4th. Silver Creek leads St. John's 18-0. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars Baseball, a major division here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Figure this out. Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. Well, we just figured out the run rule, Ashlyn. It is after 3.
Wow.
Because it is 18-0, and that is the ball game as Silver Creek beats St. John's and advances to tomorrow night to take on Mountain Pines Little League here 7:30 in St. John's. St. John's, the host team, will now play tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the losers bracket against the White Mountain Apaches from White River. So, Ashlyn, let's get into our post-game awards here.
Okay, so we've got Horn Auto Center, Drive of the Game, the Chevy Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
Okay, so this one was really hard for Ashlyn and I as we were trying to talk this through, and we're literally giving it to the entire offense of the Silver Creek team because they racked up a ton of hits, doubles, triples, I mean just rockets all around the yard from Maddox Wall, Paxton Everett, Bracken Core, Jeremiah Jameson, Riker Bajorn, Carter Christensen, James Ramberg, Cash Olberg. We had Dylan Innes that had a walk in there. Let's see, Carson Ramage had 2 singles. And then you had Fish and Owens that got on base and made some things happen. So our Horn Auto Center drives of the game are literally the entire offense of Silver Creek Little League as they take the win tonight 18-0 over St. John's. All right, now what you got?
We're going to do our Deemer's Glass shattering hit of the game. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass is Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, you can call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
So our Deemer's Glass shattering hit of the game, we're giving it to Gatlin Shaler over there from St. John's, number 22. Gatlin, rocket single in the first inning. He's a leadoff hitter for St. John's. The only hit of the game for St. John's.
Right.
That was the only hit that was given up.
Wow.
To St. John's was the leadoff single, and it was a rocket. So Gatlin Shaler, we're giving you that Deemer's Glass shattering hit of the game, and that if you need glass, call Deemer's Glass at 1-888-GLASSMAN. All right, Ashlyn, last one.
All right, now we got our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store player of the game. The best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear in the White Mountains. Located south of Pine Top on Highway 260. It's right side of the road just before you get to Honda Resort and Casino.
Okay, so our Deemer's Glass, our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports players of the game. We just talked about St. John's only having 1 hit. I'm going to give it to the 3 pitchers for Silver Creek. Bracken Core started the game. Unfortunately, he's the one that gave up that hit. And then, after that, struck out the side in that first inning, stranding a runner to keep the shutout intact. So great job there by Core giving up a leadoff single and then taking care of business and settling in. Then after that, all you had was Carson Ramage and Xander Owens come in and shut down this St. John's team who batted 12th. They never even got through. They barely got through their entire lineup tonight. So our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports players of the game go to Bracken Core, Carson Ramage, and Xander Owens, the 3 pitchers for Silver Creek, as they take the win tonight 18-0 over St. John's. So again, we'll be back tomorrow. It's 5 o'clock for St. John's and the White Mountain Apaches. At 5 o'clock, Silver Creek plays Mountain Pines tomorrow night at 7:30. So we want to thank Sholo Ford, Comfort Fit Dentures, as this. We didn't see any Comfort Fit Dentures home runs in this one, but we saw them in the first game. Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store, Deemer's Glass, Northland Pioneer College, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, again, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, and Allegra in Sholo. If you need to grow your business, grow it with Allegra in Sholo. For all your branding, signage needs, they also do embroidery, shirts, hats. So 18-0, Silver Creek over St. John's. For Brian Lang, Ashlyn Smith, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Star Baseball, the Majors Division, on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of local sports on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pine Top and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communications station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.